Hello, everyone. Welcome to Astro Live on Instagram. Today is a special opportunity because I really want to invite my good friend and colleague, Kristina, to you. Hi, Kristina. How are you?
Hi, Rod. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, but a little bit kind of a intense feeling about the Lisa Scorpio full moon. But I
Oh,
want to introduce you first because I we work since last year. We work kind of intensively together with association. And then I would just like no, one day I would definitely invite you to my to my Instagram and the YouTube because when every time we talk about our new moon or something, your your inspiration is so important to me because and I enjoy that view. And I think maybe is I don't know, could be generation because I'm a little bit older generation that way.
aw.
And I would just like when every time I hear your things like wow, it's so fresh. And there is kind of a hope there. Maybe I'm looking at things with dark side, or maybe I don't know, or maybe just particular this Scorpio full moon. So, well, how do you interpret this full moon, this Scorpio full moon, especially when it's T square with Pluto?
All right. The full moon is quite intense this time because it's in the Scorpio Taurus axis. Um, and this square to Pluto doesn't really help much. I think there will be lots of revelations about power plays, whether those would be at the workplace or somewhere else. And if we've been involved in some sort of shady activities, we'll be exposed. On the other hand, if we have been suffering from
Mm,
some sort of mistreatment or
mm,
some sort of schemes, business schemes, we may receive compensation or at least some more clarity as to how to proceed with the situation. So I think this full moon will give us lots of clarity on things which haven't been clear so far.
so interesting. I think this, especially, I don't know, because for me, there is a double whammy between Moon in Scorpio and the Pluto in touch with luminous. And for me, that's like, I don't know. I have to tell you one thing. It's very interesting. Just because I just maybe just like a day or 2 days before the Scorpio full moon, I wasn't prepared. I was just like I was just finished traveling and I just come back, settle down. So I'm still having a jet lag. And then when I suddenly realized, I think it was on Monday, I started to read a lot of posts about Scorpio full moon, Scorpio full moon, Scorpio full moon, Scorpio full moon.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my, come on, you guys, it's not full moon yet. Why you make it fast? And I didn't realize how intense it could be. I probably because jet lag, so I'm just like, oh, doesn't really feel it. But suddenly it's a bang, it hit me so hard. So
Yeah.
do you think this Scorpio full moon, I'm very curious about you talking about the things get clarity. But before that, is there, how do you see about this double whammy with Pluto?
Um, it's quite interesting. It's almost an exact square. Um,
Mhm.
to 2-degree orb here.
Yeah.
And before we talk about this square, I just like to
Mm.
highlight the Sabian symbol of 4
Oh,
degree,
please.
which is a yud holding up a candle. So that's where my interpretation comes from. There will be lots of
Ah.
light shedded on things which have remained in the dark for a very long time. At the same time, we couldn't have been fully prepared for this full moon
Mhm.
because it's based on the Taurus Scorpio axis, and we have the
Mhm.
Pluto in Aquarius, all fixed signs. Maybe we would have required way more information than we would
Mhm.
have received. Because fixed signs, and I'm talking from personal experience, I'm Leo, but with Taurus signature, I'd like to know who, what, when, where, why, and how all the time. And this moon, in addition to the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus, which we'll discuss a bit later on,
Yeah.
is nothing about clarity and accuracy and factuality. So we
Mm.
have to learn as we go, really. So we can't be fully prepared for that. But the missing angle in Leo, which could have formed a grand square, is giving us
Ah.
many, many answers. I have my sun at 4° Leo there. So it forms an exact square with the sun and the moon. We need to incorporate more of the good Leo qualities. You know, the good qualities are being generous, being childlike, you know, not childish. There is a difference
Mm-hmm.
between that, but just appreciating life and its beauty in the purest version possible. If we have difficulties with that, maybe we'd like to spend some time with children and just assimilate how they process things and how they forgive quickly and how they go back to their play and their games and they go on happily instead of focusing, over worrying about particular problems, because fixed signs tend to not move from a situation, even if it becomes unbearable or adverse, just because that's what they're used to do, and they don't like change. I think another theme which is highlighted in the full moon chart and Jupiter Uranus is change. And with
Mm.
full moon, especially with the square to Pluto, it indicates that it's inevitable change and one that we might have postponed over time and time just because we're afraid of what comes next. And the more we postpone, the deadlier this change becomes. It will destroy everything old and everything which doesn't serve us anymore. And at this point, it may sound scary, but I think over time, it will be beneficial to us.
Oh my gosh. Again, again, you always give me something, the food of soul and really inspiring. Especially, I like your take about this fixed sign with T square, but the luck of a Leo, and that we can find an inspiration from a Leo. And that whole development, oh my God, you're so great. You are a great
Oh,
astrologer. I love your take. And it's like inspiring. I think it's true. It's true. When you say that, I think again, we have Taurus, we have Scorpio, and the fixed sign we know I'm a fixed sign too. I have a Aquarius, so we are really Leo
yeah, there you
Aquarius.
go.
I think that why we have two sides of one coin, and then we hold the things. We hold the things. We just like no, I'm not gonna go on the change. Well, that's the last minute. If I have to, then I will change. If not, well, no, I will stay the same. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting. That beautiful, beautiful.
And you know, there
Uh,
is another thing as
yeah,
well. I
yeah,
mentioned about the Sabian symbol of the moon. You've held a
yes,
candle. You know, the candle is the light, and Leo
yeah.
is ruled by the sun, and the sun emits light. So again, we have this sort of reference and link between the two.
I really love this part because it's double image, and also I'm very unfamiliar with Sabian symbol, but I always feel it's magical. It is a magical, and I love this interpretation, double meaning with the Leo. So this Sabian side is the angel holding the light. It really brings us some beautiful hope image, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and we'll see it
Yeah.
with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction as well. Just the synchronicity sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, should we dive into the Jupiter Uranus conjunction because I think it's pretty interesting. It just happened a couple days ago, this early this week, and many astrologers talking about it. Many astrologers talking about. I think a lot of the things I heard about it would be just like from either from feel interesting like a Rick Tana's take it as like a technology revolution or quantum leap and that, but that from from our view, I think from and then there's some astrologers they thank God from some astrologers talking about that. So how how's your interpretation about these Jupiter Uranus conjunction?
Okay, so I think we should start with the fact that this is a cycle. The cycle between Jupiter and Uranus happens every 14 years, and it can differ in nature. So we can have masculine cycles where Jupiter and Uranus meet up in masculine signs, whether these would be air signs or fire signs. Then we have the feminine cycle, where Jupiter and Uranus meet up in earth signs and water signs. And sometimes we have mixed cycles, where
Mm-hmm.
these planets meet up in both feminine and masculine signs. So I went back in time in history to see what happened in previous Jupiter-Uranus conjunctions in Taurus. And we see lots of battles, the siege of Jerusalem, for example, World War II,
Yeah.
other battles in France, Norway, England as well. And there is also one discovery of supernova in
Mm.
in 1181. And I hope that this time we'll discover more and more supernovas, planets, and we make more astronomical discoveries. We talked about this, propensity towards perhaps World War III in
Mm-hmm.
our latest episodes of Astrological Duets. I was a temporary host there, and I asked our audience whether we can predict another world war.
Mm.
And luckily, most of the responses were negative because we can't judge. We can't make
Mm-hmm.
such a big prediction just based on this cycle. But the
Mm-hmm.
theme of war and warfare is still there. Because we live in the 21st century, I believe we can go beyond this ferocious sort of application of this conjunction and apply it for something better. Like I mentioned, astronomical discoveries,
Yep.
supernovas, planets. I'm here for it. Totally here for it. So let's see how again the Sabian symbols play out in this
Yes,
chart.
please.
21 degree of Taurus is the, just let me find it. I've written it somewhere. Yeah, it's a finger pointing in an open book, and it's a symbol about receiving guidance from some sort of
Mm.
sacred books, from history perhaps, but at the same time, we shouldn't forget to act upon our own judgment after we've gathered this sort of wisdom. So again, we should preserve our freedom of choice rather than just rely heavily on the books.
Mm.
And while we have this symbol, the moon symbol, the moon in this chart is at anaretic degree, 29 degree of Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the symbol of a man gaining secret knowledge from a paper he's reading. So do you see how these two
Hey.
symbols interact with each other?
Yes.
I think we'll uncover something massive,
Mm.
massive piece of knowledge, whether that would be serving, our inner development, or we may discover something which improves humanity's life. But I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Wow, I really agree with you, and especially thank you for bringing these two Fabian symbols image. They are coincident. They kind of fit into each other, and they really give us some guidance about use our knowledge and to is rather just like let things bring us anywhere. We can also make our own choice. We can also make our own choice. And I like the way you're talking about in the astrological associations, astrology duet, and the most astrologers say we don't predict that things, but also I like what you say. We can make decision too. We can make decision too. We can, we can either choose to push the things toward to the the war, or we can say, hey, that's think about it again. And is there other solution? I think Jupiter Uranus open other door to us. Like for example, at this moment, I'm so afraid to talk about that because I may not go to get a visa to go back to not visa the visa go back to United States again because criticize them. But the protest in the university this couple of days was like so huge, isn't it? The protest in the New York, in Harvard, and in all around the United States, the protest of war was become a huge major theme. And I was just like, they are our hope. They are our hope because war is not the only solution. War is not the only solution, and we already have Ukraine and Russia, and there's so many tension in all the other places of the world.
Mm.
We should try to find other way to deal the differences between each other, even that's a huge historical differences. I mean, thank you, Kristina, to bring this beautiful inspiration, and then I really enjoy our our conversation, and each time when I work with you and Wendy in the new moon update is always inspire me. So I think for coming up, I think our association, astrological association, I mean that's okay. We can promote our association's event because soon we will have a conference. We have a conference, and I really hope everyone can join us to the conference because this is so important for us in UK, in England, even in the Europe. It's a big event. Once a year we met each other, and then to share our idea. For example, every time I chat with different astrologer, like and also with different generation, I get inspired. I really, really, especially when every time I listen Christina's talk, I was just like, oh my God, where does it come from? Why I never think of it in that way? Honestly, why I never think in that way? And we have to learn. And thank you for bringing this up. You know, food of thought. Thank you so much. So, well, I think. But do you usually do a lot of practice astrology, or astrology is um um your main job, or it's just part of your life?
I think it's part of my life, and I think it's really corresponds to my Sagittarius MC.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing lots of activities related to Sagittarius on the MC. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I graduated from journalism, from BA
Uh-huh.
journalism degree at the University of Westminster. Then I went on studying a master's degree in entertainment law.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I've
That's
been
the
doing
research.
astrology meanwhile.
Yeah.
Um, and recently, not recently, I think since 2 years, I've
Uh-huh.
taken teaching at university.
Mm-hmm.
So all these areas activate the Sagittarius and the MC quite perfectly.
Definitely, definitely. I was really thinking you should, have been more active in the astrology community. We need you, Christina. We really need you. Your fresh mind and your logic and your inspiration. I really think in the future time, I really looking forward to, have you at this channel more and more because that is so interesting. You really give me a lot of idea, and I couldn't thank you more than that. This is so amazing. Thank you for joining us today. And I mean, I'm really looking forward to see you because why I'm saying that, it's a funny story. Because when I communicate with Christina, and I say, "Oh, what is your Instagram?" and they say, "Oh, I don't usually doing activated in astrology on the Instagram, right? So you don't usually use it."
Yeah, so I used to have Instagram, and
Yeah.
I decided to remove it in 2019 because I
Uh-huh.
realized it didn't really serve me good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, and then the Instagram account I'm using at the moment for the sake of keeping a record of all the
Yeah.
new updates from the
Yeah.
Astrological Association channel is actually the one I did for my year 2 journalism project where I did
Oh,
a magazine about astrology.
oh wow.
Yeah, so it was called Acrix. That's where
Acreage.
the name comes from. Yeah.
Okay. Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember. Acreage is a fixed stars in the southern cross, right? In the southern
yeah.
cross, and it's so it is, that symbol is a jewelry. It's like a mundane or material worth abundancy together with the spiritual meaning. It's an abundancy. And I have to tell you, in the astrophotography, there is a beautiful, why I talk about jewelry, there's a beautiful cluster, open cluster right next to a cruise called
Yeah.
jewelry cluster.
Oh,
It's like a jewelry box. Next time, go to find a photo. It's beautiful. It's a
please
beautiful
do.
image. Yeah. So that would be inspired too. That would be inspired when we think about fixed stars and think about their image. I think that would inspire us too. Okay. Well, thank you, Kristina. And I'm really over excited. I'm really happy to have a chat
Oh,
with you. And then I really think to hope to invite you back. And maybe next time when you are more, if you decide to be more active on Instagram, then
mhm.
we can do a live stream on top. But if not, I think Zoom is always help us.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
So
can
thank
I
you,
just
Christina.
mention one
Yeah,
thing really, really quickly,
please.
like a
Yeah.
tip? When we have a look at the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus,
Yes.
I couldn't help but think of the Fool from the tarot cards,
Yeah.
Rider-Waite, I think. It's usually associated with Uranus itself, but
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice Jupiter and Taurus there, because the Fool appreciates the beauty of the earth and their surroundings with such an optimism and curiosity. And I think we need to learn a lot from the Fool. And because we call ourselves smarter
Mm.
nowadays, and we're always busy with our jobs, we're always overstressed about something, we always have issues, problems. I think we should be more like the Fool. We should try to be present and appreciate the earth with its abundance and really try to preserve it, and then go on to devising new ways of living on Mars and raising up the technology level and so on. I think we should focus a bit on the earth itself.
Thank you, Christina. It's such a beautiful image. In one way, we appreciate our surrounding on the earth, but in another way, we from that is the base we go to, our new journey. It was also quite interesting because if I continue to talk, I will talk too much. But I want to share with you is like when I was in New York last month, end of last month, I gave a talk in New York, and that was my first time give a talk physically present a presentation in New York, and that evening when before I start my journey, walk to that venue, I walked past by and I think that was the 1st of April because it's the Fool, you know,
Yeah.
1st of April, and then April Fool. The first coffee shop I walked past by in New York, there is a chain coffee shop called uh, Il Mato, and that's in European, that's in Masai Tarot card, that's the Fool, the original archetype of the Fool, Mato. Mat in France called Le Mat. So I was like, oh, my new journey. And you just mentioned it. I was like,
Yeah,
I think maybe that's a message for me too.
it
That's a
is.
message for me. Yeah, to start a new journey. Thank you for bringing this so rich and abundance of the food of soul. Thank you so much, Christina. And I'm really looking forward to see you next time. Thanks everyone for watching the Astro Life on Instagram. And I'm really looking forward to see you. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.